Voice of Liberation hereby outlines 4 things the Nigerian government must do to avoid the path of sanctions and other responses. Number 1. The Nigerian government must respect the right of expression and end violence against peaceful protesters and provide a platform for dialogue on the way forward. The job of law enforcement agencies is to monitor the protests such that order is maintained. This is far from the case in the treatment of protesters in Nigeria. For example,
and we are calling on all peaceful protesters to please have on you recording devices. Record your interactions with the law enforcement agencies. Any violation, please forward to the appropriate, report it as appropriate, and copy to this address: Yoruba Voice of Liberation @gmail.com. Any violation, be it killings or any harm to peaceful protesters, report it as appropriate. Forward copy of your report and or evidences to Yoruba Voice of Liberation @gmail.com. This is a broadcast by the Voice of Liberation. Ipedande. We are here. I'm here together with the President and co-convener, Mr. Ayo Faleti, and myself, Dr. Ademola Adekunle, co-convener. And we are addressing the 4 things which President Muhammad Buhari must do now in order to avoid international actions and sanctions. The 4 things that President Muhammad Buhari must do now to avoid international actions and sanctions. Nigeria is now ranked top in the Global Terrorism Index, with Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Pakistan. These 5 countries account for 3/4 of all terrorism-related deaths around the world. Fulani herdsmen kill and even do so in broad daylight. The Nigerian citizenry in the recent times have been under a government that has failed extensively in our constitutional duty. Worst of all, that has failed in protection of lives of the citizens. The constitutional duty of government of Federal Republic of Nigeria is to protect the citizens from invaders disguised under various terms, be it Fulani herdsmen, be it Boko Haram. It is the responsibility of the government to protect the citizens, not, I repeat, not to surrender citizens to invaders. The statements to vulnerable Nigerians by Presidency spokesperson Mr. Femi Adesina in July 2018, I quote, "You can only have ancestral attachment when you are alive." That is referring to people and their lands. That position is a complete breach of government's obligation to the citizens who are the taxpayers. When the same government of President Muhammad Buhari empowered the Fulani herdsmen, including with cash, 100 billion naira, and logistics, giving them radio station. The spate of killings has continued to rise and spread around the nation under the watch of Buhari-led administration. In August 2020, the Inspector General of Police in Nigeria, Mohammed Adamu, during a town hall meeting at Zulu local government area of Kebbi, stated, "We have realized that most of the banditry has an international dimension. The bandits come from outside the country. We arrested Sudanese, Nigerians, and Malians, among other nations." He went on and stated again, "When we operated in Kaduna, Bamingwari, when we attacked a group of bandits, we realized that most of them came from Islamic State of West Africa, who are terrorists, kidnapping for ransom." So categorically, it is an admission by the Nigerian government and the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, that it is a case where foreigners are violating the rights of law-abiding citizens. The demand, therefore, by the government at various times for citizens to surrender their lands is in violation of government constitutional responsibility and the fundamental rights of the citizens, as provided under the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 Constitution, Section 33(1). Contrary to the constitutional obligation of protecting the citizens, in June 2019, President Muhammad Buhari issued executive order demanding citizens who are legally issued with protective measures to hand back their legally issued protective weapons. That was particularly alarming, considering the position of a government in a place where citizens are being killed in hundreds in broad daylight. Denial by the President Muhammad Buhari-led government. The government denied obvious, and the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, traveled the world giving the impression all is well in Nigeria. Nonetheless, evidence of mass killings and other atrocities led to the 6 governors of the southwest Nigeria to launch the Western Nigeria Security Network, Operation Amotekun, in January 2020. That was in response to the insecurities and killings. In addition, Yoruba World Congress, launched in 2019 August, moved and read Yoruba people as members of the Unrepresented Nations and People Organization. That again, in a way to protect the Yoruba people who are facing existential threats. The spate of killings continue unabated, and only in recent times, I can talk about this. 22nd July 2020 in Borno State, 5 aid workers killed. 2nd of July 2020, Borno State, there were shots fired at the United Nations Humanitarian Damask. On 13th June 2020, in Monguno town, 33 civilians killed. 9th June 2020, in Fellow Village, Gubbio local government, 81 civilians killed. February 9, 2020, Aono town, Maiduguri, 30 women and children killed. 14th to 15th of January 2020, Kaduna Zaria Road, 6 people killed. 17th June 2019, Konduga in Borno State, 3 suicide bombers killed 30 people, injuring 40. February 2019, Maiduguri, 20 people killed. November 2018, in Metele, a significant number of soldiers were killed. 31st October 2018, in Maiduguri, 8 killed. 1st March 2018, in Borno State, 12 killed, including 3 humanitarian workers who were abducted. 16th of February 2018, Konduga in Borno State, 3 suicide bombers killed 19, injured 70. In September 2019, the United Nations submission on the case of Northeast Nigeria estimated casualties since 2011 of between 26,000 and 37,500. The United Nations Secretary General report on children and armed conflict estimated in 2017 alone a total of 881 children killed in Nigeria, 341,000 newly displaced recorded in 2018. Amnesty International report in 2018 on farmer and herders conflicts documented at least 3,641 people killed between January 2016 and October 2018. 57% of them in 2018 alone. Various communications have been issued to various quarters, including the United Nations, the International Criminal Court, and various international and national institutions. There has been effort of Yoruba people and other ethnic groups in Nigeria to self-protect themselves. While the presidency vigorously denied the Operation Amotekun was an evidence of concerns on the part of governors who are chief security officers of the state. Also, the Yoruba people of Western Nigeria were registered under the Unrepresented People's Organization for the same reason. Notably, on Friday, 12th of July 2019, on the Benin-Ore Expressway, another prominent Yoruba citizen, Barrister Funke Olakunrin, was assassinated, and by people that witnesses asserted were Fulani headsmen. Unfortunately, the protest of the Yoruba people and all those who are agitating for self-protection and self-preservation are being met by the Nigerian government with violence. Now, this broadcast and this press statement is being sent to the following quarters: the Presidency, Federal Republic of Nigeria; the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria; House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria; Executive Governors, Oyo State; State Assembly, Oyo State; Chairman Council of Obas, Oyo State; the Executive Governor, Osun State; State Assembly, Osun State; the State Council of Obas, Osun State; the Executive Governor, Lagos State, Nigeria; the State Assembly, Lagos State, Nigeria; the Chairman Council of Obas; Executive Governor, Ogun State; the State Assembly, Ogun State; and the Chairman Council of Obas, Ogun State. Also being sent to Executive Governor, Ondo State; the State Assembly, Ondo State; the Chairman Council of Obas, Ondo State; the Executive Governor, Ekiti State; the State Assembly, Ekiti State; the Chairman Council of Obas, Ekiti State; Executive Governor, Kwara State; the State Assembly, Kwara State; and the Chairman Traditional Council, Kwara State. Also to the Office of Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba Land. We are also sending this to the international community: the United Nations Secretary General, the United Nations Assembly, the International Criminal Court in Netherlands, African Union Secretariat, European Union Secretariat, the United Kingdom Parliament, the Senate, United States of America, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China, also to the Unrepresented Nations and People Organization, as well as to the Amnesty International, because this is very serious, and any problem in Nigeria will affect the entire region. We are stating categorically the 4 things which President Muhammad Buhari must do now to avoid international actions and sanctions.
Thank you. hereby outlines 4 things the Nigerian government must do to avoid the path of sanctions and other responses. Number 1. The Nigerian government must respect the right of expression and end violence against peaceful protesters and provide a platform for dialogue on the way forward. The job of law enforcement agencies is to monitor the protests such that order is maintained. This is far from the case in the treatment of protesters in Nigeria. For example, in September 2019, Agnes Callamard, United Nations Special Rapporteur for Extrajudicial stated in a report on the 29th and 30th of May 2016, during a demonstration, the Nigerian military opened fire on IPOB members and bystanders in Onitsha. At least 60 persons were killed and over 70 people were injured, mainly shot in the back. The exact number of deaths remains unknown. The people of Yoruba land and the entire Nigeria have the right to peacefully express their choices in the affairs of Nigeria. In every civilized community, similar to what operated during the Brexit and similar situations in histories of nations, groups, parties, for and against particular terms of association. This should be allowed to express and exercise their fundamental rights of expression in an enabling environment that enhance informed choices. Number 2, the Nigerian government must desist from the path of deploying military and lethal weapons on peaceful protesters. It is the job of the police to control citizens' population in law enforcement, while the army is for controlling and enforcing borders and protecting the territorial integrity of the country. Dispatching military to meet peaceful protesters with lethal weapons is in breach of the law, national and international. For example, it is very alarming that a trailer load of heavily armed military men was deployed, targeting an individual, in this case, Mr. Sunday Adeyemo, all in an attempt by the federal government to stop a planned peaceful protest. No harm should happen to Mr. Sunday Adeyemo. No harm should happen to Are Gani Adams. No harm should come the way of Professor Banji Akintoye. No harm should happen to any citizen agitating for his or her right. We ask that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Toko Yusuf Buratai, returned the army to the barracks and leave the job of protest management to the police. The Yoruba people of southwest Nigeria and all ethnicities must not condone the practice of unprovoked attacks or killings of protesters, which are purely acts of state terrorism. Number 3, the Nigerian government must honor obligations under the Arms Treaty or be prepared to face international sanctions on supply of weapons. In April 2013, the United Nations adopted the Arms Trade Treaty to regulate the international trade of weapons in a way to enhance international and regional peace and reduce human suffering, including suffering in the hands of governments that use these weapons to suppress the citizens. Nigeria ratified and acceded to this treaty on the 12th of August 2013, and it came into force on the 24th of December 2014. Reports by various bodies are in condemnations of interactions between peaceful protesters and the Nigerian government forces. We call on Nigerian government to honor relevant obligations. A country where lethal weapons are deployed on peaceful demonstrators must be sanctioned in relation to the international treaty, and supply of such weapons must be cut off, an obligation to which the international community must stand by. Finally, number 4, the Nigerian government must honor and recognize the right to life of the people. The Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 1948, protects the right to life. Section 33(1) of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provides that persons living in Nigeria shall have a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life. unless in execution of the sentence of a court of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty. Section 33(2)(a) of the Constitution provides for lawful steps in defending citizens' properties. The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has demonstrated alarming degree of failure on these grounds. Considering the degree of loss of lives and properties, we are calling on governors of all Yoruba states and all other states where well-meaning citizens are directly having their fundamental human rights to life compromised to do more to ensure protection of lives and properties in their states and regions. Lastly, the world is watching, particularly as the anniversary of independence of the country approaches on October 1, and we demand that the rights of the people be observed to the full dictates of the law.
The 4 things which the Nigerian government must do now in order to avoid the path of international actions and sanctions. 1. Respect the right of Nigerians to peaceful protest. Provide platform for dialogue. 2. Shun the act of state terrorism. The job of managing citizens and protesters is that of the police, not the army. There must be no use of deadly weapons on citizens. We repeat, there must be no use of deadly weapons on citizens. 3. Respect international treaties signed by Nigeria, including the Arms Trade Treaty. 4. Honor the right of Nigerians to life. And we are calling on all peaceful protesters to please have on you recording devices. Record your interactions with the law enforcement agencies. Any violation, please forward to the appropriate, report it as appropriate, and copy to this address: Yoruba Voice of Liberation @gmail.com. Any violation, be it killings or any harm to peaceful protesters, report it as appropriate. Forward copy of your report and or evidences to Yoruba Voice of Liberation @gmail.com. The world is watching. Thank you.